What's up, gamers? FCast and Chill here. Today I'm going to be talking about Bandos and how to do Bandos with the Bowfa and the 6-0 door alter method. I'm also going to go into detail about how to flick the minions after each kill, because I think that's an important part that most guides don't discuss. Just for simpleness, I know his name is like General Garage Door or something like that. I'm just gonna call him Garage Door because that's a lot easier. So let's get into it and see what gear you need to start fighting Garage Door. Alright, here's my gear and inventory setup for the Garage Door fight. So first of all, with this method you will need the Bowfa as well as crystal armor. The reason for that is it's a 4-tick ranged weapon, and it also has very high accuracy, which you'll need since if you don't kill him fast enough, you're going to take a lot of damage. Next up, you're going to make sure you need one Bandos item and one Zamorakian item. So you can see here I have the Zamorakian bracers and the Bandos blessing. I like these since they actually don't give you much of a downgrade in your gear at all compared to the Barrow's gloves and the Rada's blessing. Also, you could use D-hide boots if you have one of those as well. And you even could bring in like a cape or armor or something that's Bandos or Zamorak, and then just drop it once you get past all the minions and ready to go into the room. But those are two things you're going to need to have for sure before getting ready. Another thing, you want to make sure you have a few mage switches. So you can see here I've brought the Master Wand, the Mystic Top, and then I have the Tormented Bracelet and Occult Necklace. Those are good for making sure when you're barraging the minions after each kill, you can heal up pretty well. I also bring a few food here, and I think if you're a beginner and just learning the method, you should probably bring a bit more food. But as you get more comfortable, you can drop the food down, and if you get way more comfortable, you can even bring more ranging potions too for longer trips. One more thing about gear and inventory, you can also bring Bones to Peaches if you find that barraging isn't healing you up enough after each fight. The Bones to Peaches spell will give you a little bit of extra healing, so bring some tablets there. Also, make sure you're on the Ancient Spellbook and you have runes for Blood Barrage. Very important. Alright, let's get into the fight overview now. The fight with Garage Door itself is actually very simple. You just have to be make sure you're tick perfect with your timing the entire fight, or you can get slapped for 50 plus damage and die instantly. So what you want to do is stand on this tile here that I have my character on, and I actually do have a paste bin link in the video description to all the tile markers I have here, so feel free to grab that. And what I'm going to do is stand here, and right before he spawns, I will turn on my prayers of both Protect from Range and Rigor, click him when he spawns, and then after that click the altar immediately after my character starts attacking. And then I will walk for 3 ticks, so you'll see my true tile indicator move 3 times. Then I'll click Garage Door again to attack him. Right after my attack starts happening, then I click again to move toward the altar. It's very important that you move to it, you click to move as soon as you can after you start attacking, or else you'll be late and get smacked. Once I do that and make it all the way to the altar, then I'm going to attack him and then click on the door right after attacking him. And the reason you have to click on the altar or door is it's actually called a red X method. So it stalls the boss and you can run under him without him smacking you. If you just run under him normally, he would get a melee hit off on you and potentially kill you. But if you run under him by clicking on the door or altar right after attacking him, then you should be safe. So let's see that in action. Alright, so I'll turn on my prayers here, click him to attack, then click the altar. 1, 2, 3, attack. 1, 2, 3, attack. 1, 2, 3, attack. Click the door. 1, 2, 3, attack. 1, 2, 3, attack. Then I click here, attack him again, then click the altar, and I just repeat this cycle. Just make sure to count 3 ticks after each attack. And then remember to click right after you attack him and keep it going. One other thing you can notice I did there is toward the end, and a couple times when I was almost done running to the end of the room, I actually walked for the last 3 tiles, and this is actually something you can do to save on run energy. There's a setting in RuneScape, if you go into your account settings, where you can actually make it so that holding control when you click will alternate between run and walk. So what I'm doing there, when you see me walking, I'm actually just holding control and then clicking that last square to walk the last 3 tiles to save some run energy. Alright, now let's see what this looks like when you first enter the room, since the setup's a little bit different, and we're going to use those other tiles that we had marked. So here I'll sip my Divine Raging Potion, turn on my prayers, enter the room. So I spam click this tile, when I get to it, attack him, then immediately move down to this one, attack again, then click the altar. And then do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, attack, 1, 2, 3, attack, click the door, 1, 2, 3, attack, and so on. Now we're just in the cycle on these tiles instead of the ones that are a little below. So you'll have to do this for your first kill whenever you enter the room. Then after this first kill, you will adjust back to those 2 tiles that we use for all the subsequent kills. And that's about it. Easy enough. Well, he's not quite dead. There we go. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to talk about a couple tips, including some of the minion flicking stuff. So right after General Garage Door dies, your first goal should be to kill the maging minion as fast as possible while preventing as much damage as possible. You know, in theory, depending on how the minions' attacks are lining up, you can block all 3 of them with prayer switching, but it's a lot easier to do once one of them is dead. And the mage minion is the best one to kill first. So make sure you're protecting from the ranged and melee if possible, flicking back and forth between protect from range and melee while just keeping rigor on and bursting down the mage minion. After that, then you're going to want to use some prayer switching techniques to kill the other 2 minions without taking damage. If I'm going to shout out my prayer flicking video right here. If you don't know much about prayer flicking, check it out. But let's see this in action. Alright, so these minions will each attack on a 5-tick cycle, and the goal is to try to line it up so that they're attacking on different ticks. And remember, you want to switch to the prayer before the minion's attack animation starts, because you have to have the prayer bubble over your head to block the damage right when the attack animation starts. So you can see I'm doing that here. I'm switching between all 3 prayers because they were attacking on different ticks, and I was able to block all damage. Now I walk over here and you can see that there's 2 ticks between when the ranged minion and mage minion are attacking. So I'm actually just doing the alternate switching method that I talk about in my video, where I turn ranged on 1 tick, off the next tick, then melee on 1 tick, off the next tick, and then I actually wait a tick. So because they attack every 5 ticks. So the speed I'm doing this at is I'm going 1, 2 to turn on the ranged prayer on and off, 1, 2 to turn on the melee on and off, and then waiting a tick. So let's see that part again. So I'm going to count here to explain what I was doing in cycles of 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, wait a tick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see again on 1 and 2 I'm turning range on and off, then 3 and 4 turning melee on and off, and then waiting a tick. So the goal is to just identify what ticks the minions are attacking on, and then you can flick back and forth to block all damage. You can do it a little more sloppily by just leaving ranged prayer on right until you see the ranged minion start his attack animation. Right when you see that, you can click on protect from melee, and then right when you see him turn on start his attack animation, switch back to protect from range. This will still block all damage, but it uses up more prayer than the way that I'm doing. Now let's just see a couple more examples to really drive this point home on how to do this. Alright, so as General Garage Door dies, I attack the maging minion, and remember I'm trying to block all damage from the ranging and the melee one. So I walk over here. Right after I see the ranging minion's attack animation, I switch to protect from melee. Right after I see the melee minion's attack animation, I switch back to protect from range. And you can see they're actually one tick after each other here, so right after the ranging minion starts his attack animation, I switch to protect from melee. So let's see that here, right when he starts it, yep. And then in between I'm turning it off to save some prayer, but again, you could go right back to protect from range after the melee minion attacks. And here, since I'm switching right after I see that animation, I'm blocking all damage and just barraging my health up. Easy enough. Watch that a little longer, and then now that the melee minion's dead, I'm just gonna do the lazy flick on this ranging minion to block his damage. One other thing I want to mention that I haven't yet is you see that prayer altar over to the right? You can actually use that once every 10 minutes to fully restore your prayer in between kills. So I would suggest doing that to save supplies, since that'll make your trips go a lot longer for sure. Let's see another example. Alright, so right when he dies, attack the maging minion, and then keep my protect from range up. Right when I see the animation, switch to protect from melee, and then switch back. Switch to melee, back, and so on. So it's really not that difficult once you get some practice in. Of course, this is going to take some practice. It's not going to happen successfully on the first try, especially if you don't have experience prayer switching. But you can see here, again, they're one tick off. So I just keep my protect from range active right until I see his attack animation, switch to protect from melee, and then turn it off. So protect from range up, switch, off. Protect from range up, switch, off. And again, you don't have to turn it off, you could just go back to protect from range. But that's really it for the minion flicking. Once I get my health back up to 99, I usually switch back to my ranging gear, and I'll just use the Bowfa to kill these guys. But you can keep barraging them if you want, it just uses more runes. Now that we've talked about minion flicking, I'm going to talk about a couple small things, like troubleshooting and what to do if you get out of cycle during the Bandos fight. So let's get into that now. Now let's talk about what to do if you mess up for whatever reason and get out of cycle. Run to the end of the room and put on your protect from melee. As soon as he hits you, click on either the door or altar to run under, then get back in the cycle by attacking him. After doing this, make sure to switch back to your protect from range, as the ranged minion does the most damage. And as you can see here, I'm back in the cycle successfully. Another thing is you want to make sure if your health gets low during the fight and you need to eat, that you do not eat on the ends of the room. You need to eat in the middle of the room, and you do this instead of attacking. So what I would do here is, after running under him, I would eat there instead of attacking. Move 3, eat, move 3, and then here you have to attack him to flinch him as you run under him with the red X method. So that's really it for troubleshooting, just getting back in cycle and eating during the middle of the fight. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video and want to see more, please like and subscribe. It'll really help grow the channel. Also, if you have any feedback or suggestions for other guides you'd like to see, please leave a comment below or just let me know. Alright, take care and good luck on the grinds.